Joining us on the first debate tonight, Salman Soz, leader of the Congress, joining us from Delhi. Sanjay Kaul, spokesperson BJP, also from Delhi. Bharat Kumar Raut, political analyst and the MP in the Rajya Sabha. He's here in the Mumbai studios with us. Also, Dr. Ajay Alok, General Secretary of the JDU. He's joining us from Patna. And political editor of the Caravan, Hartosh Singh Bal, also from Delhi, as is senior journalist Ashok Malik. Thank you all very much for joining us. Now, the first question to the Congress, Salman Soz, are you in pre-poll disarray? Just today, we've seen another heavyweight, Satpal Maharaj, one of your tallest leaders in Uttarakhand, crossing over to the BJP. This follows the likes of Jagdambika Pal a few days ago. Are you in pre-poll disarray right now with tall leaders deserting you?
Well, when you talk about tall leaders and disarray, when you put these things together, these two phrases, I think you should look at the BJP and see what's going on in their party. Or you've seen the
but tell us about yours first.
Their party in the last
Tell us about yours first.
I'll tell you about my party too. Look, it is no one's case that when your own people sometimes desert you that you feel sad. Of course, it saddens us. But at the same time, we recognize that this is that season where migratory birds flock from one place to another. Some people go, some people come. I think this happens in all elections. Yes, I can see that people are watching a little too much TV and looking at opinion polls a little too much, believing in them perhaps, and they feel that maybe the opportunity for them is in another party.
The problem, Mr. Soz, with your argument is that who do the people in these constituencies believe when the leaders they looked up to are deserting them and going across to the other party, the party against which they've been working and they wanted to vote against? The leader itself is going over there, so you're leaving the voter confused. So who's responsible for that? You can't blame the television channels and opinion polls for that, can you?
No. I'm not actually. I wasn't blaming the television channels or the opinion polls. I'm actually blaming those who actually watch them and don't really put things in perspective.
No, what do you do for the likes of voters who are looking up to a particular candidate, saying that this will be the candidate who I will vote for from the Congress, and suddenly overnight low? The case of Satpal Maharaj, he just walks out and says, bye-bye, I'm going to join the BJP. So is that fair? And is that an indication of the things to come? No. Why are they jumping ship? Senior leaders jumping ship?
No, look. You can ask them why they're jumping ship, but let me tell you this. They have been unfair to the people who worked hard for them, and they will be actually shown the door by those very people. I'll tell you, I think maybe people have gotten a little too much too faced by this whole, there's a Modi wave out here in this country. Like somebody on
if your own party leaders are getting swayed, isn't that a cause for worry? If you have not been able to keep your flock together, isn't that a cause for worry? Doesn't that indicate something? What is the message that you are sending to the people at large? If you are not able to keep your own leaders, how will you instill confidence in the voters?
Look. I think what's happened to you is that you are seeing a lot of Arnav, and have started doing this.
Don't make the comparisons, Mr. Soz. You can leave that aside. I'm asking you the question. The question is relevant. The show is Newshour. You are here on a debate. Please answer the question.
You have to let me respond, because I'll answer the question when you let me respond.
Go ahead, sir.
There is a lot of stuff that is going on right now. People who believe in the Congress's philosophy, or for example the BJP's philosophy and ideology, they will stick to their parties. Those who do not, those who see political opportunism, those who see transfer of perhaps money or some other inducement, they will not. Now let me finish. The BJP has been talking about Congress Mukt Bharat. They should first talk about Congress Mukt BJP. They're not even able to get to
Mr. Soz, Mr. Soz, I have to interrupt you here because you've made an insinuation. You've talked about people giving out money and buying people over. Is that an allegation that you're making?
Yes.
Because you said that. BJP, please respond to that. Sanjay Kaul.
Absolutely.
Sanjay Kaul, please respond to that.
In Gujarat, everybody knows that they're buying people off.
Sanjay Kaul, please. Sanjay Kaul, we'd like your response to that.
I'm saying this on national television.
Me. Will this person... Can I answer?
Yes, please.
And I think it will be beneath me to respond to that last statement the gentleman just made. I think I found it very strange that the Congress finds everybody at fault including the people who watch television or read the newspapers. It finds the media at fault. But it does not find anything wrong with its leadership, anything wrong with its policies, anything wrong with its values of governance, anything wrong with its with its much avowed misuse of secularism over the last so many years. I think it begs the question: are they really able to look at things in the correct perspective at all?
Is the BJP, Mr. Kaul?
The point is that you have to learn.
Mr. Kaul, I'm going to put that question back to you. Is the BJP looking at things in perspective? Because if it is ideology that you're claiming, it is the Modi wave that you're claiming, why are you so openly embracing all these congressmen who want to come over to your side? Why are you doing that? Because your campaign was against the Congress and the Congress leaders, isn't it? So then aren't you taking the same from the same party? Aren't you taking leaders on board you? So how are you then any different? Where is perspective here now?
Yeah, I get your idea. I got it the first time you put it to me. My answer to that is simply this, that the BJP is not against people, okay? These are people of this country. As long as we can attract people to our ideology, to the way we think, and get them to agree with us, we succeed and we win. That is what we are in politics for. We are not here to, unlike the Congress and some other parties.
So what happened with Karuna Shukla?
We are here. Will you just let me finish, please? I don't understand.
Go ahead.
Sorry?
Go ahead. I'm asking you what happened with Karuna Shukla.
Well, the point is that if you want me to answer, I can advance the argument. But if you, keep look, I hope I'm making a point here. My point is that every time we are able to convince somebody to join us, we win. Every time we are able to influence somebody else and convince or turn them to our way of thinking as far as the country is concerned, the importance we attach to foreign policy, to national pride, I think we win. So I don't think we have to be apologetic about people joining us. As far as people leaving us is concerned, well, let's put things in perspective. A lot less people are leaving us and a lot more are joining us. So let's stay with the theme of what you started. Fact of the matter is there is political opportunism. That's a fact. But as far as Congress people are concerned, where is the ideology? It is only opportunism. Or the misuse of ideas like secularism, or of extremely pitting, or exploiting communal frenzy.
Mr. Soz, we'll come back to you, Mr. Soz. I know you want to respond to that, but Mr. Raut is here in the studios with us. Is it clearly open season for opportunism over ideology? For example, Rahul Narvekar also leaving for the NCP after being one of the most, harsh critics of the UPA.
You said the right thing. I think in India, unfortunately, and it is a growing trend, that the time of election, that becomes a mandi time. Bazaar ka time hota hai. And therefore, during this time, there is lot of horse trading happens during this period. Though I am not talking in behalf of Shiv Sena, but Shiv Sena has suffered because of that. A year ago, Shiv Sena's MP, sitting MP, young MP, who Shiv Sena made him member of parliament at a very young age, he was taken by NCP. Now another spokesperson of Shiv Sena, Rahul Narvekar.
Yes, and one of your most visible leaders,
on this channel itself.
Yes.
And he shifted from Shiv Sena to NCP the very next day. Within 24 hours, he becomes the candidate of Sharad Pawar's NCP.
Yes.
I mean, what is this? Where is the question of principle? Where is the question of ideology? I think this is all humbug.
Where is the ideology? Hartosh Singh Bal, the list I have here of all the defections that have happened over just the last few days, it extends into 2 pages. I'm not even going to go into them. We all know what they are. And there are some really big heavyweights in there. Isn't it open season then, as Mr. Raut said? Is it just, horse trading, a mandi out there?
Well, it's absolutely that. This question that Sanjay raises of ideology, etc., that's pure bunkum. There is a common saying of a particular species deserting a sinking ship. That is what is happening at this time. I can't think of a better label to ascribe to these people who are switching sides right now. And the interesting thing is, obviously, the Congress is in decline. It is in bad shape. It may be in permanent decline. On the other hand, it seems the attractions of power in this country are such that whoever is close to power takes on similar shapes. At one time, to join the Congress, all you needed to sing was the mantra of the dynasty, and today all you need to join the BJP is to chant Namo Namo. There is no commitment to ideology. It's a personality cult, and if you go and stand suddenly and say you believe in that cult, suddenly your ideology has changed, you're acceptable.
But Ashok Malik, Isn't this unfair to the voters? Should the voters vote for any single candidate who's defected at this nth hour after campaigning for 5 years or voicing opinion against a particular party for 5 years? You go and embrace them at just around the corner of the elections. Should the voters vote for such people? Isn't it unfair to the voters?
I think those who switch parties on the eve of elections are being unfair to their parties and to the workers of their parties. They are not necessarily being unfair to voters. To be fair, they are moving before elections. Voters have a right to vote for them or reject them. They're not moving after an election, so it's a free and fair contest. Someone like Winston Churchill, a far greater politician and world statesman than anyone in India today, switched parties several times. He was in the Conservative Party, then he joined the Liberals, then he became an independent and stood as an independent, then he rejoined the Conservatives. So people have a right to change parties before elections or in the interim between two elections. I think 2 points need to be made here. One, ideology or core principles are important for all parties, but all big parties are also broad church parties and attract all sorts of people. Sometimes they take in people who contribute votes in a particular region or a particular constituency and are local strongmen. In the case of
are you trying to say it's okay for opportunism to score over ideology?
On the defensive.
Are you trying to say it's okay to be an opportunist and it's okay if there is horse trading, it's okay if it's open transfer, and if it is over ideology, which parties are batting for years on end?
Could I finish talking? Please understand. Please be realistic. This is not a college debate. The biggest morality in politics is winning an election. This is as true for the Congress as it is for the BJP, as true for the DMK as it is for the AIDMK.
Okay.
People try and win elections.
All right. No, so on that point, people have walked away from alliances on the issue of ideology. Let's go to Dr. Ajay Alok. Several high-profile defections in your party recently as well. I'm just going to talk about Praveen Amanullah, who's the first woman minister in the Bihar cabinet. She's just gone across to the Aam Aadmi Party. The issue is that, and she's not just the only one, again there's a long list here, your party leaders don't seem to have any clear binding with the ideology that has been so ferociously proposed by the JDU as far as the split with the NDA has been concerned.
As far as JDU goes, it's a very clear thinking in JDU that we were the last one to compromise on our ideologies. Because if you look at our position, we were sitting quite comfortably in a house of 243 with 207 of our own. And if hadn't it been a case of ideology, the split wouldn't have taken place and we would have been
That's what I'm saying. You split on the issue of ideology, but now your leaders are leaving.
We took the risk. No, none of our leaders are leaving. We took the risk because of the ideology. Now, if talking of a case of Praveen Amanullah or Mr. N.K. Singh, I'll just say they are just grapes turning sour, nothing else. It doesn't make a difference to the power party.
No, there's many more names. There's Chedi Paswan, your MLA. There's also your MP Sushil Kumar Singh. I mean, you can't say
was suspended from the party.
You can't say people are not leaving. There are names.
Chedi Paswan was suspended from the party long back.
No, but Ajay Alok, what ideology are you talking about? Isn't the issue more personal? Isn't the issue of you walking out more personal than ideological? No. Because if it was ideology, you wouldn't have been part of the NDA. You wouldn't have aligned with the BJP. It's not ideology. It's personal. It's personality, and it's a personal issue between Nitish Kumar and Narendra Modi.
We aligned with BJP
So don't claim a false platform. Don't claim a false platform. Don't claim the ideology platform because it does not. It is not right. It is not right, Dr. Alok.
It is right.
No, the fact of the matter is, if it is ideology, then why isn't the JDU still with the BJP? It should be the ideology, not the leadership.
Out of alliance because of an ideology.
Yes.
It's not a matter of leadership. We very clearly propose that if this kind of a leadership is going to be there, it is going to lead the India alliance.
Again, it's leaders. It's leaders.
JDU contested the last election along with BJP. BJP remained the same, and still you split with BJP. After that, your leaders like N.K. Singh are leaving you, deserting you, and you say there is nothing wrong in the party. I think there is a gross dissentment against the Nitish Kumar decision to leave NDA, and perhaps because of that, all these leaders are going away.
I guess
you should
BJP should look
introvert
first
and think
into
about
their
it.
problem. What BJP is undergoing, within themselves is a part of a fusion reaction, the part of the unholy alliances that you are stitching all over the country. And that's why is the fusion reaction happening. And
but they're being able to draw allies. But the fact is, and the fact is that the allies are coming. They are being able to make all these alliances. Salman Soz, you've been wanting to come in.
Exactly.
Yes,
fact is one man is taking the decision and the allies are coming and the senior leaders are sulking. They are not, and first time there is a coining of a slogan, safe seat.
Let me just...
Even the prime ministerial ambition candidate wants a safe seat.
So what's wrong with that?
And
We'll go to that. That's out of this discussion today, Dr. Alok. So let's not bring that back in. Yes, Mr. Soz.
Yes, look, I wanted to connect what Sanjay ji was saying about ideology with Mr. Malik's observation. I think astute observation about, this is politics. This is not a kind of college debate. This is about, running the government. If you look at, if you look at what kind of people, when you look at ideologically, what's happening in the BJP, their senior leadership, those who are really the ideology of BJP. What happened to Mr. Jaswant Singh today, for example? How is it that his ideology is not the BJP ideology, whereas a former congressman who just joined and now wants to contest and is contesting, his ideology is he's more grounded in the RSS.
You just BJP answered your question before you asked it, Mr. Soz.
That's one.
When you said you agree with Ashok Malik, you answered this question. When you said you agree with Ashok Malik, you answered this question.
Please let me finish. Let me finish my point. Let your viewers at least hear my perspective.
Go ahead.
That's one point. Then if you look at what Ms. Sushma Swaraj ji said, publicly, she said that she disagrees with the kind of people that are coming into the party, specifically referring to people who have serious allegations of corruption in Karnataka. Mr. Sri Ramalu, Mr. Yediyurappa came in. I thought the BJP was going for corruption Mukt Bharat, but I had no idea that they were taking on the burden of the country by putting
Does B.S. Yediyurappa have a Lok Sabha ticket?
That's what's happened to this party.
But Pawan Kumar Bansal does.
Mr. Yediyurappa is now...
No, Pawan
Kumar Bansal does.
Mr. Pawan Kumar Bansal is not an accused. Mr. Pawan Kumar Bansal is not an accused.
That is also debatable. In fact, that can open up another debate, Mr. Soz. The facts of that case can open up another debate.
It is not debatable.
The facts of that case can open up another debate. Hartosh Bal, you had a point to make.
Look,
Yediyurappa is contesting from
in all this, I think this whole question of
BJP ticket.
Yeah, Yediyurappa is
if I may,
Doodh ka dhula, right?
All right, can we have Hartosh Bal, please?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. See, there's a simple point here. I find it quite interesting that suddenly people with sympathies to the BJP are espousing real politics, given the events of the last 4 or 5 years and the kind of problems the Congress has faced on grounds of corruption. I mean, today you can stand up and say, corruption is not really an issue. You need money to win an election. That money has to come from somewhere. The point is, every kind of justification is possible. And these are not questions of college debates. These are essential questions of principles. Now, if you don't want to bring principles into politics, that's fair enough. And that is the point I'm making. That really there is no distinction in terms of the Congress or the BJP. We are getting similar parties with similar configurations, similar personality cults.
Yeah.
And when we talk about Jaswant Singh being pushed out and Satpal Maharaj being brought in, it is because you are building a personality cult of loyalty towards the leader and leaving out any question of an older ideology that the party had any inclination towards. So we are getting a BJP shaped in the same way as the Congress was.
Yes, Sanjay Kaul, please respond to that. And also, you're accepting serial defectors like Ramakant Yadav, for example, who has contested on 3 different tickets from the same constituency. Where is the question of ideology here then?
I think, can I just step in here, please? I would like to just respond to Hartosh's points. My point is he's laboring the point again and again. But fact of the matter is that basically this equation that he's forcing upon the BJP because he happens to see or he won't like to see the BJP like the Congress is quite unnecessary. That the debate is clearly marked here. The debate is basically talking about a movement away from the Congress and other parties to the BJP. It's a phenomenon. Let's discuss the phenomenon. Now you are telling me that he's taking great umbrage at the fact that people are dropping ideology and wearing the saffron skin of the BJP. Now if that is the case, then that is the case. So you have to basically have a problem with the Congress, not with the BJP. If the BJP can bring in more people, convert them to its own self, this is not my failure, this is my success. Number one. Number two, more importantly, ideological moorings in the Congress and people who support the Congress for so long means nothing. No, there are no ideological moorings.
So, Mr. Kaul, you're saying that all these people that are joining the BJP now are doing so because of your ideology and not because of the opportunity that it presents.
I am saying the opportunity is part of what we are offering. If we did not have a strong decisive leadership, if we did not have a personality like Narendra Modi,
how is it, Sanjay Kaul, that for 4.5 years they didn't embrace this ideology and suddenly they have embraced the ideology? Oh, the light came up. How did that happen? How overnight enlightenment is this happening? I mean, it's a little hard to debate. Digest the argument that you're giving. Isn't it, Mr. Rao?
If you would have listened to the last part,
if there was a change of heart, why does it happen on the day of the election? If you would not have been so impatient to start off before I ended, I would have answered your question.
Mr. Kaul, people within your own party have not yet embraced what you're saying as a wave. People within your own party are yet to embrace it fully. So how can you say everybody else is embracing it and it's part of a larger ideology?
No. If those people are shouting and crying and demanding change of ideology within their party for 3 years, 4
without
years,
even
1 year,
listening to the argument
suddenly you change your shift and then get the benefit.
For the sake of viewers and for the people who may have missed
it is just a transfer.
I am repeating this for the sake of people who may have missed it, including you, that part of the attraction of the BJP at this point in time is also circumstantial, but it is because we provide that quality of leadership, that semblance of leadership, that dynamism.
Ajay Alok begs to differ. Ajay Alok begs to differ. Sanjay Kaul, Salman Soz, Ajay Kaul, Ajay Alok both want to get in. Yes, Ajay Alok, then we'll go across to Salman Soz.
It's not because that the people are drifting towards BJP because they are in a need of BJP. It's basically BJP which is needing these people because they have the paucity of the candidates all across the nation.
Point well made.
Check it out in UP, check it out in Bihar. They don't have candidates. They are importing candidates from other parties. Just at any cost, forget about ideology, forget about principle, nothing doing. All the things that matter to them is how is to win the seat. And they don't have candidates to win the seat. Bihar is a classical example where they have thrown 10 seats to the allies. They couldn't find the candidate. Till the last moment, 4 seats were not decided. They finally had to adjust Vishwamohan Kumar, which was not given ticket from our party, from this Jhanjarpur seat.
You know,
there are loads of seats where you can just find that they don't have any candidates.
But Dr. Alok, it could be argued that it sounds like sour grapes coming from a party that is losing people. When you talk about a party that is attracting people, it could be argued that it just sounds like sour grapes.
I don't know if somebody is denied a ticket from our party and they are offering red carpet for that candidate, I don't know how much it is attracting.
Why are they going in the first place?
Why
are they going in the first place?
BJP, they turned their coats and came to our party.
If it is a question of the BJP wanting them and not the JDU leaders or your team wanting to defect, why are they leaving in the first place? Why aren't you able to keep your flock together?
See, if you're talking of NK Singh who has left the party.
I'm not talking about any one particular individual. This is what is happening at large. And let's go across to Salman Soz. Yes, Salman.
No, there are altogether 3 incidents in our party who has left.
The same question applies to the Congress also. Salman Soz, go ahead.
Yes, it does. Look, I actually want to kind of reiterate what Mr. Jha also said. Think about the BJP and what's happening to the BJP. That means they are taking people who either did not get the mandate in the Congress or got some inducements or whatever, or saw some opportunity and went over to the BJP, for example. And then they get nominated in the BJP. What happens to those workers who were toiling for the BJP all this time, and then their leadership, their homegrown talent is totally disregarded?
But
wow, sympathy for the opposition.
But what happens when a Karuna Shukla joins you? What happens when a Karuna Shukla joins you and then the Congress is rah-rahing it all over the place?
By the way, if you look at Ms. Shukla's case, can anybody right now, can you say that, oh, by the way, she saw some sort of great opportunity, given what you are all saying about the so-called Modi wave? That seems to be a change of by conviction. Not
the simple argument to that, Mr. Soz, is that she did not get an opportunity.
That is why.
So she moved over to a place where she thought she could perhaps get an opportunity. The simple argument to that is that the simple counter could be, I'm not saying it is, the simple counter could be that somebody like a Karuna Shukla didn't get an opportunity within the BJP, so she moved to a place where she thought she will find an opportunity. So again, the ideology goes out of the window.
So then it is a personality clash. It is a personal interest rather than opportunity.
No, let me just.
Yes, please make your point.
Let me just put one point forward. You know, there is a reason why some BJP top candidates have faced heavy opposition in the places where they've gone to file nomination papers. There's a reason why in seats, say for example in
Mr.
Jammu,
Soz,
Udhampur,
I'm sorry to interrupt you again. There is a reason why several senior leaders within the Congress party are reluctant to even contest the elections. So please don't talk about those who are facing protests. At least they have the gumption to go and contest. The others are being pushed into it. Those who said that they want to work in the state and work for the party have been pushed into the Lok Sabha pitch battle because you're scraping the barrel literally. Isn't that the case?
So wait a second. Is Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad scraping the barrel? Ambika Soni ji, that's scraping the barrel.
Are they eager? Were they really eager to contest?
Kapil Sibal ji, is that scraping the barrel? What are you talking about? Mr. Chidambaram's case, he was asked by the party not to contest. It is not up to Mr. Chidambaram to decide whether he will contest or not. It is up to the party to decide how to utilize the services of any candidate.
Come on.
That's the way it works.
Ashok Malik?
All of our heavyweights are in the field.
Ashok Malik?
No, several Congress heavyweights are not in the field. It's been very well known, whatever Mr. Soz may say, that for several months that Mr. Chidambaram has been very, very unkeen on contesting. He even explored the idea of Pondicherry. We all know the whole story in Delhi. I don't need to repeat it. Mr. Anand Sharma is reluctant. Mr. Sachin Pilot is reluctant. Several Congress politicians are reluctant. There were many people in Punjab jockeying for Mr. Bansal's seat.
Sachin Pilot is in the field. Anand Sharma is not reluctant.
Let me finish. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt, let me finish. I did not interrupt when you spoke. Please. All I'm saying is there's a strong perception that Mr. Pilot is an unkeen candidate. I have a right to that perception. I have a right to say that. You have a right to refute it later, after I finish.
It's a perception. Perception.
Please understand, before an election, parties attract talent from other parties, attract people from other parties. But for every 10 people who are taken in, there are about 100 who are not taken in. Each person who's taken in is the result of a pragmatic call. It's also a gamble. Does this person bring me votes? Can he win me an extra seat? Some of those calls are right, some of those calls are wrong. But that is what politics and electoral politics is all about. It is at the end of the day about winning seats, not about pleasing some person on a television debate.
But Hartosh Bal, what about the voter? You know, we've talked about Rahul Narvekar earlier as well, and I'm just bringing him up as an example simply because of the kind of comments that he's actually made against the UPA. I mean, he's been extremely vociferous in his criticism. He'd also gone out and defended that comment that Uddhav Thackeray had made about, you know, there being a bunch of eunuchs in the UPA, and now he's crossed over to the NCP. How is he going to explain that to his voters?
Look, I think on that point, I agree with Ashok that the voter has a choice. If after this the voter still elects Rahul, I think it is not Rahul who's the problem, it is the voters who are a problem if you want to judge it in that fashion. But I think there is a more serious problem here which underlies all this and which we are not addressing. Take the example of N.K. Singh. Now, N.K. Singh was not ideologically committed to the JDU, he was not ideologically committed to the BJP. N.K. Singh's closeness to the Reliance group is well known. What you are seeing suddenly is a realignment of interests towards the winning side. And those same interests will continue to operate in similar fashion in this country, irrespective of which party wins or loses. That's the real problem in such situations.
So is there any room for ideology after all? Because the Shiv Sena is also facing massive number of exodus, isn't it? Yeah, so what, they don't buy into the ideology? The ideology is not strong enough?
It's not a question of ideology anymore, particularly in case of Shiv Sena, because I have been the member of parliament of that party. See, for example, let me recall, since I come from Maharashtra, 1 month ago, the Shiv Sena MP from Shirdi Bhauseb Wakchori. He resigned the seat. Next day, he is offered Congress ticket. What was so special about it? And now, as Hartosh said, that this is a problem with the voters. Now, voters will have to decide what to do. But it is not, can't leave it only to voters. It is primarily the responsibility of the political party, the host political party, which is fielding the candidate. Because it is the responsibility of the party to field such a candidate who is trustworthy and whom people can trust and people can vote for. Here, voters don't vote only for the candidate. They vote for the ideology of the party also.
But is that the case, Mr. Raut? That is what we are asking Dr. Ajay, the likes of Dr. Ajay Alok, you and Salman Soz and also Sanjay Kaul. The fact is, the reality stares us in the face, isn't it? Like if he says that the voters vote for ideology also, then they should not be swayed by the leaders defecting. They should be swayed, or it should make an impact when a leader shifts parties and shifts loyalties. He should think twice that I will lose my voter base because, oh, I'm giving up my ideology. But that's not the case, isn't it? The BJP is embracing most of these people because they know these people will bring votes, like Hartosh said. So there again, the argument does not hold. It is again nothing but political opportunism or whatever the lure.
Dr. Ajay Alok?
May I? Yeah. Political opportunism is a fact. Let's not ignore it. But what is important, in every party, there is an ideology and the leader of that party is a representative of that ideology. Now the people, those who are defecting, they are not the real leaders of the party, of which the party claims the vote. It is the individual who is defecting. Now these individuals are defecting to different parties on the basis of the other leaders. And if they are ready to follow the ideologies, like some people from RJD they have come into our party, and they are ready to follow the principles and the ideology of JDU, which is primarily being maintained by Sharad Yadav and Nitish Kumar and our central leaders.
Is it the principle and ideology again, Dr. Alok?
But if
or is it that they see that the RJD is a sinking ship in Bihar, so let us go across to the JDU, which looks a little more stable and sound and still perceivedly secular?
I don't know. Few days back, a few months back, you always saying that JDU is a sinking ship. But suddenly now our ship is becoming
No, I am saying this would be
from the RJD
from the RJD leaders' point of view, the JDU looks to be a far better option than the RJD at the moment in Bihar. So I am saying, could that not be the argument? And there again, the entire claim of ideology and the party principle stands defeated.
No, I am talking of leaders' ideology. I am not talking of smaller leaders like N.K. Singh or Parveen Amanullah, they shifting to different parties. I am not talking of those. They can always change, and it's up to the people for decide whether they are going to elect, because they are now coming with a party with a different ideology. Because in every political party and in every elections, there are two sets of votes. One is for the party and the leadership, and one is for the candidates. And all these combined together will make an election winning combination. That's what the difference is all about.
Salman Soz, we just heard Dr. Alok there saying that it's the sort of smaller leaders that are crossing over. But I come back to the point that I started with. The Congress is losing some very big leaders. Someone like a Satpal Maharaj in Uttarakhand is huge. He cannot be dismissed as a small leader, and you have to admit that that is a massive loss for your party.
Look, I do have a lot of sympathy for what Alokji is saying. Yes, we've lost some reputable or big leaders also, but they don't form the party. The party is bigger than any one individual leader. The party has a soul. You will notice that in the BJP or the Congress, or whether it's the JDU or some other political party, there is always a core. That core is never going to shift. Then there are there can be some big individual leaders also who can be popular in their own particular area, but they don't necessarily form the core, the soul of a political party. So they shift, the party stays. So I think that's what we are looking at. Yes, we can lose some people. I do believe that a lot of it has to do with opportunism and inducements, but at the same time, the Congress party its philosophy, its ideologies, it's directly opposed to what the RSS and the BJP have for the people of India. There is no question about that.
But if it is directly opposed, then why is a majority of... So what do you call what is happening around the country today? Will you or will you not agree that there are more members or more leaders defecting or moving out of the Congress than they are from the BJP?
Or any other party for that
instance. Then Ashok Malik.
It's not about...
then Ashok Malik, even if the Congress wants to say that there is no Modi wave, their own leaders are sending out a different message to the people of the country, isn't it? Keep the opinion polls out of consideration.
No, I was.
You see,
I was going to just
say
other than
yes,
there are people leaving the Congress party. There's not.
Salman, just wait. Ashok Malik was making a point.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Ashok Malik.
Okay. You see, could I speak? Yeah. Other than Nandan Nilekani, there's been no significant public personality who's actually joined the Congress, as far as I know. This certainly does reflect a certain defensiveness and lack of confidence in the Congress, and a perception, which may or may not be true, that the Congress is going to lose this election badly and the BJP is going to gain significantly. Having said that, you see, like ants attracted to a sugar pot, politicians in this country and people in this country, or anywhere perhaps, are attracted towards a party which you think is coming to power. The BJP would do well to be a little careful about who it takes in. People who bring in significant votes or an incremental identity are most welcome to the party and should be welcome, but the party should be careful about who it takes in and who it doesn't. If it's carrying extra baggage, it could do it well to turn back some people, turn out some people.
That point to Sanjay Kaul, has the party been discerning in deciding whom they're allowing in? I mean, your own party leader, Sushma Swaraj, for instance, has openly expressed her dissent with some of the decisions that have been taken. Is the party being discerning in whom they're allowing in?
But the point is, the people she protested about were people who bring in significant votes and swing seats in Karnataka, and you can't run away from that.
So Sanjay Kaul, we'd like you to respond to that.
Elections are about winning votes, not pleasing the political editor of a magazine.
Yeah, indeed, of course, I think, when we induct people, we are always very... Yes, I'm trying to answer.
So, Sanjay, just Hartosh Bal also has a question, so you can collate all and give us the answer. Yes, Hartosh.
I want to know what I want to know what NK Singh brings to the BJP. Does he bring votes? Does he bring ideological commitment? I'm curious.
Go ahead, Sanjay.
Okay. Let me answer what Ashok said first. And I think, of course, it's a valid issue, and we are always grappling with issues like that. You must understand these are not decisions we take lightly. There are many things to consider. And for that matter, what Hartosh was saying, frankly speaking, to evaluate Mr. N.K. Singh's value, I'm not sure whether he's in the party or not yet, but it's conjecture. But fact of the matter is that you don't value them precisely in the way that you are presenting it to be as merely in terms of votes, because there could be intellectual capital, I'm just saying. No. But the larger issue still remains this. Sorry?
You were presenting this. I'm asking you a specific question which you aren't answering.
I am saying that it could be intellectual capital. It doesn't have to be people who necessarily get you votes. There are many ways, there are many aspects, there are many dimensions.
Intellectual capital is what the BJP is searching for.
I am just saying that. I'm just saying that. You don't have to react to
the argument. The defense doesn't sound plausible. Hartosh Bal, I understand, and I can see the reason why people who are watching this will not accept that argument. Mr. Kaul and Bharat Kumar Raut has a point.
Yeah, I want to make a different point here.
So obviously
I can understand you talking about individuals. Perhaps NK Singh is an intellectual capital. But what happens to the alliances which the BJP is entering into with? Like, for example, Ram Vilas Paswan. I have seen Ram Vilas Paswan vehemently supporting Congress on the floor of the Rajya Sabha till yesterday. And then you enter with an alliance, forge an alliance with Ram Vilas Paswan party. What happens to that?
What Bharat Kumar Raut has done is he set up the debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight. That's what he has done. But we will get a quick word on that. Also, we will talk about that in detail. But going back to Salman Soz, you had a point to make. But the question I am going to ask you again is the fact that if your party's ideology is what keeps its people together, what are you going to do about all these opportunists?
I will tell you this. The way the BJP has been going around making alliances, for example, with the likes of Mr. Vaiko in Tamil Nadu, the same person who was celebrating the release of Rajiv Gandhi's killers. Is that the kind of anti-terrorism kind of stance they have? I will tell you one more thing. If the former Prime Minister's family
you know,
member
Mr.
comes
Soz,
and joins the
I'm just going to nip that in the bud because I'm going to nip that in the bud because
I will just finish.
The question, the onus is on the BJP to choose who they want to ally with, not on the people who want to ally with the BJP at this point in time. So going back to Mr. Sanjay Kaul,
I will tell you this.
Forget the parties. I'm talking about the individuals. I'm batting on your side right now, Salman Soz. I'm batting on your side. I'm batting on your side. Just listen to me. I'm batting on your side. Just listen to me. I'm asking Mr. Sanjay Kaul, is the consideration of votes that the likes of Yediyurappa and Sriramulu bring so important that it overweighs the considered decision of some of the senior most leaders of the party and you override it altogether? So then where is the party ideology and where is the party principle standing for? Isn't the party also nothing but opportunistic? Why doesn't it just go and tell the people, listen, we give you the opportunity, we are opportunists, so vote for us. Keep the ideologies aside, principles aside, anti-corruption aside.
No, I think you got this back to front. The opportunism that you were talking about was of people you said to me earlier about people joining us, not about us inducting them. The fact of the matter is, I have made this very clear that as far as the BJP is concerned, expanding our influence
But those are two sides of the same coin. Those are two sides of the same coin,
we are going to be doing this as far as possible within the limits of what is allowed to us. Now, here's the reality. The reality is that Congress is no longer the magnetic core of the next elections or the next parties. Now, it is going to be the BJP. So there is going to be a natural law of aggregation working on this. Don't forget that there are not just individuals, but parties aligning with us. More parties are also joining. Why are you picking on only just candidates? So fact of the matter is that people in the Congress are jumping ship. You accepted it.
Why do they say you should choose your friends and allies wisely? Why do they say you should choose your friends and allies wisely? Because you should be wary of fair weather friends, isn't it?
No, listen. I mean, I like what you're saying, but my point is where you asked me a question.
So where is the BJP's principle on that front? Where is the BJP's ideology on that front?
Or the NDA?
Where is the BJP's principle on that front?
Of principles.
The NDA is an agglomeration of diverse parties. It will remain so. The earlier NDA was the same thing. We work within the contradiction.
If it is an alliance, then why are the decisions unilateral?
The fact of the matter is...
debate number 2, but I had to ask that question.
Hartosh Bal, if we can come back to you. You know, the big question here that we're asking, of course, is opportunism taking precedence over ideology. But at the end of the day, is it really going to matter? Because we see often leaders that have jumped ship, leaders that have gone from party to party, being elected with a huge mandate. We've taken the name of Ramakant Yadav earlier. There are many such leaders who have jumped ship repeatedly and won time and again. So at the end of the day, does it even matter to the voter?
Well, see, this is a question you can ask not just of individual candidates who switch sides. You can ask this of allies, who will claim, say, for example, secular principles, but as I think somebody told me today, a senior retired bureaucrat, that, once the NDA crosses 215, 220, the NDA will become secular. So this kind of opportunism is a given in Indian politics. I think the voters have no choice. That is why they are reacting to this. But I think eventually wherever they are presented a choice, a position, or a candidate that can speak out against it and do so with some honesty, I think they will opt for those candidates. Unfortunately, there aren't too many of those candidates around. This is where AAP had an opportunity and lost it.
Now, Ashok Malik, you talked about political opportunism being the norm. It's happened in the past, it happened today. It's turned out some great leaders and great prime ministers abroad. But in India, what should the voter think? Should he trust a leader who jumps parties? Should he trust a leader who swings with the tide and jumps ship? Jumps a sinking ship or abandons a sinking ship? What should the voters do? What should the voters look for in a leader like that?
Devil's advocate all over. Let me play devil's advocate all over again. If my constituency MP, irrespective of his party, brings me public goods, brings me a certain service, and is a good MP for me, I will vote for him irrespective of party. I'll give you one more example. Pawan Kumar Bansal is a much traduced man, is a man all of us have criticized for his performance as railway minister and the scandals he faced. In its wisdom, the Congress feels he's been a good constituency MP who could deliver. That could be a right call, that could be a wrong call. But if he is the best candidate the party has, the party will go with him. I'm not saying that's good or bad, I'm not making a moral judgment. That is a pragmatic call. That is, in the end of the day, what you do in politics.
So principles...
Why are we pussyfooting and pretending that things are otherwise?
So principles go out of the window here, Dr. Alok. Ideology goes out of the window here.
See, as
लोग जिसको
As
वोट
far
देंगे
as
उसको हम
we
टिकट
go,
देंगे.
The
Is that right?
principle is not at all going out of the window. We stick. Sorry.
People who will get votes, we'll give
As
them
far as
tickets.
we go, our party goes, the principle has not gone out of the window. We are on the same wicket where we were standing earlier, and today also we are standing there only. So there is no shifting of stance from our side. It's a better question to be asked from other parties.
It's not a question. This is not a question of this or that. Many times the candidates are such. I'm not batting for anybody. I'm not advocating anybody. But many times the candidates are such that whatever may the principle of the party, values of the party, or many times that the tide of the time is such that those candidates get elected from whichever party they go to. That is perhaps a personality cult.
Final one-word answer. What scores more, ideology or opportunism?
It's not a question of opportunism. No,
Ideology
it is not
or opportunism?
Idealism should
It should. But does it?
What scores more?
No, here
In reality.
It is not.
In reality.
No, it is the demand of the time. Perhaps I will say that is more pragmatic answer.
All right, on that note, let's just close this first debate of the day. Thank you very much for joining us, all of you gentlemen. And we have set up debate number 2. We'll be back with that very shortly.